Williams went from scoring just 1 point in the entire 2019 season to already having 55 points halfway through 2025. That's more points than they scored in their last 3 seasons combined. Everyone thinks Williams got fast because they hired Carlos Sainz and fixed their basic problems. But the real truth is much more shocking. Williams has been playing a secret game that nobody noticed, and they're not even trying to win in 2025. I'm going to show you the 4 hidden reasons why Williams is suddenly competitive and why their best days are still ahead. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Williams beat Ferrari in Miami and why they parked 2025 development to chase 2026 glory. Just when Williams finally had a competitive car, they did something that sounds completely insane. They stopped trying to make it faster. In April 2025, Williams made a shocking decision. They pulled the plug on all major development of their current car. Carlos Sainz was furious about this choice, saying, "It even makes me angry, because the car had so much potential." He could see they were just 3/10 from pole position in Miami, yet the team refused to develop it further. Why would they sabotage their own success? Because James Vowles had a master plan. Instead of chasing small gains in 2025, Williams decided to put every single resource, every wind tunnel hour, every engineer, every dollar into building their 2026 car. But the results speak for themselves. Despite zero development since April, Williams still held 5th place in the Constructors' Championship after 10 races. They were beating teams that were spending millions on upgrades, while Williams was already mentally in 2026. But stopping development was just the beginning of their transformation. While everyone was watching Williams on track, the real revolution was happening back at Williams' UK base, in a room most fans never see. For years, Williams had been using an ancient simulator that was basically worthless. James Vowles famously discovered that much of their car development was still being tracked on Excel spreadsheets when he joined in 2023, but in early 2025, something changed completely. Williams retired its outdated simulator and activated a next-generation simulation platform. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was like going from a calculator to a supercomputer. The new simulator could accurately predict how the car would behave on track, something their old system could never do. The impact was immediate. At races like Spain, Williams' on-track performance finally matched what their virtual predictions said it should be. This meant they could develop the car much faster because they knew their simulations were telling the truth. Alex Albon noticed the difference right away, saying the car became less snappy, more predictable, and less sensitive to wind changes. This simulator upgrade was crucial for Williams' 2026 plans because it allowed them to test ideas virtually before building expensive parts. While other teams were still guessing, Williams could simulate their way to the perfect setup. But even perfect simulations need the right driver knowledge to make them work. Now, here's the part that sounds like a movie plot. Carlos Sainz didn't just join Williams, he became their secret weapon. When Carlos Sainz moved from Ferrari to Williams at the end of 2024, he brought with him a deep understanding of how a top team sets up its car and approaches race weekends. Right from his first briefings at Williams' UK base, engineers seized the opportunity to tap into his experience, asking detailed questions about suspension feel, brake balance, and aerodynamic behavior. Williams received systematic insights into the processes and priorities that shaped Ferrari's development philosophy. Over the early races of 2025, this influx of know-how helped Williams refine their setup work more efficiently and close the gap to the frontrunners. By mid-season, the team was consistently matching or beating its former rivals on certain circuits, showing how powerful practical experience can be when applied to a fresh car program. Sainz later admitted that Williams' 2025 performance had exceeded expectations from when he signed with them. He could see the team was implementing lessons learned from his Ferrari experience faster than anyone expected. But there was one person leading all of this behind the scenes. Everything we've talked about, the development freeze, the simulator, the Ferrari knowledge, was part of one man's incredible vision. When James Vowles joined Williams in 2023, he didn't just see a struggling F1 team. He saw a sleeping giant that needed a complete transformation. In just 2 years, Vowles grew Williams from 700 to over 1,050 employees. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Vowles had insider knowledge that nobody talks about. He spent years at Mercedes and he knew exactly what their 2026 power unit was capable of. When Williams extended their Mercedes engine deal through 2026, Vowles made a bold prediction. You're going to see differences between power units that do not exist today. He believed Mercedes had built something exceptional for the new regulations. This is why Williams stopped developing their 2025 car. Vowles wasn't just thinking about next year, he was building for 2026, 2027 and 2028. Every hire, every facility upgrade, every strategic decision was aligned with one goal: winning races when the new regulations arrived. The infrastructure changes at Williams' UK base have been massive. Vowles said, "It's just not the same place as it was a year ago, because of all the improvements in technology, people and culture." Williams wasn't just fixing their car, they were rebuilding their entire operation from the ground up. Most importantly, Vowles convinced Carlos Sainz to join this project by showing him the long-term vision. So Williams isn't just fast again, they've completely changed how they think about Formula 1. First, they stopped chasing 2025 upgrades to focus entirely on 2026 domination. Second, they upgraded to a world-class simulator that finally tells them the truth about their car. Third, they hired Carlos Sainz not just as a driver, but as their Ferrari intelligence officer. Fourth, James Vowles executed a master plan that transformed Williams from a struggling team into a serious contender. Williams went from scoring 1 point in 2019 to 55 points by mid-2025, beating their rivals on multiple weekends. They fixed their engine infrastructure, hired the right people, and most importantly, they stopped thinking short-term. The 2019 Williams was a disaster that taught them everything they needed to know about what not to do. 6 years later, that painful lesson has become their greatest strength.